All right, so your exam is right around the corner, and you need to get a handle on hierarchical pathfinding like right now. Well, you've come to the right place. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down everything you need to know, super simple and clear. Let's do this.
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at the big problem we're trying to solve. Then, we'll dive into the really clever two-level solution. We'll explore the high-level map, then zoom into the low-level details. And we'll wrap it all up with a summary that is tailor-made for your exam prep. Let's jump in.
First things first, let's set the stage. We're talking about a huge challenge in things like video games. How do you get from point A to point B in these massive, ridiculously complex worlds?
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, picture a giant open-world game. If a computer character has to calculate a path across the entire map, checking every single tree, rock, and building, the whole game would just grind to a halt. It's just way too much information to handle all at once. So how in the world do they solve it?
Well, the answer is actually super elegant and really efficient. It's all about learning to think on two different levels. And that right there is the heart of hierarchical pathfinding.
Okay, pencils ready? This is the formal, textbook definition you'll probably want to have in your back pocket for the exam. Hierarchical pathfinding is a method that speeds up pathfinding by, you guessed it, breaking the task into multiple levels of detail. It's really designed for these huge, complex environments.
But let's put that into plain English, because that's way easier to remember. Think of it like planning a road trip. First, you look at a map of the whole country to figure out the major highways you'll take between cities, right? That's your rough, big-picture route. Then, only when you get close to your destination city, you zoom in on a street map to navigate the local roads.
And that's the entire secret sauce, right there. It's just a simple two-step process. First, find that high-level, big-picture path. Then, you figure out the low-level, detailed path. So let's break down that first step.
So this first step is all about pulling way back and getting that bird's-eye view. We're totally ignoring all the little details for now and just focusing on the major regions and landmarks. So how does this actually play out? Well, the game world gets chopped up into these large, simplified areas. Towns, forests, deserts, that kind of thing. At this stage, the AI's only job is to plot a rough course connecting these big zones. So to get from town A to town B, it might just figure out, okay, I gotta go through the forest. What's key here is that it's only looking at massive obstacles, like a huge mountain range. It could not care less about an individual tree at this point.
Okay, so once that high-level plan is locked in, it's time to zoom all the way in. We're going from that bird's-eye view down to a boots-on-the-ground perspective for the nitty-gritty navigation.
So, following our little story, the AI isn't looking at the whole map anymore. Nope. Now it's focusing only on the forest. It calculates the best possible path through just that one area, and now it starts paying attention to the small stuff, like dodging trees and rocks. It does this piece by piece for each leg of the journey, making sure the character moves smoothly all the way to Town B. And this is where you really see why this method is such a game changer. Standard pathfinding tries to figure out every single tiny step from the very beginning. That's incredibly slow and eats up your computer's resources. But hierarchical pathfinding, it's way smarter. It gets the rough plan down first, then fills in the details. That makes it so much faster and more efficient. It is the perfect solution for today's massive game worlds.
Okay, we've gone through how it all works. Now for the part you've been waiting for, the final summary. These are the absolute key points you need to have locked in for your test.
All right, let's nail this down. For your exam, what do you need to remember? Number 1, it is a smart and efficient way to find paths. Number 2, its secret is that two-level system, high level for the rough plan, low level for the details. Number 3, its whole purpose is to save a ton of time and processing power in big, complex worlds. And if you ever get stuck, just remember that road trip analogy. Plan with the big map first, then worry about the street view.
And that's it. That's the core of hierarchical pathfinding. You are all set for your exam. But hey, let me leave you with one final thought to really make this stick. We see how it works for games, but think about it. Where else in the real world could this two-level approach, planning big first, then focusing on the details, be used to solve other really complex problems? Good luck on your test.